If you want to know the real story here, we can pull up the rap sheet. In 2015, Neely was busted for attempted kidnapping after he was seen dragging a 7-year-old girl down a street, sentenced to only 4 months for that. In 2019, Neely was arrested for punching a 64-year-old man in the face. 2021, he randomly punched a 67-year-old woman in the face as she was walking out of the subway in Greenwich Village. That victim suffered a broken nose and a fractured skull. Jordan pleaded guilty to felony assault. Former New York mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa and retired Rochester, New York Police Chief Laurent Singletary both join me now. Gentlemen, it's good to see you. Curtis, there's no way to know what this man was capable of in this moment. Do you think there's going to be a charge and conviction here? How does this work?
Well, first off, you missed one. You had AOC all-out crazy Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez charged that was murder. Then they went a modern-day lynching. You missed the latest. Yes. It's an execution. They've gone for the trifecta. They don't care. First off, this guy has been roaming the trains and has been a menace to society and to himself for years. He hasn't done a Michael Jackson imitation of moonwalk for 5 years. So this narrative just does not hold. And he has assaulted a wide variety of people. Now, you say to yourself, what was he doing in the subway? Why was he living down there? Aren't we responsible when you run a subway system like the state of New York to remove these people and bring them into a mental hospital, a psychiatric facility, which he should have been brought into? So now all of a sudden you have a Marine, active Marine, sitting on the train like everybody else, minding their business. He comes barging in, he's threatening, he's rambunctious. The Marine took preemptive action. He had the assistance of 2 other passengers. Unfortunately, this young man passed away. Now all of a sudden you want to vilify a hero who served our country overseas as a Marine, who turns out to be a surfer boy from Long Island.
Right. Laurent, I want to get to you. We've seen what soft on crime policies have done to our big cities. We know why we're seeing more of this. The irony is they begged for community policing, and I think this is kind of what it looks like, because people are not going to stand by and live like this. People are not just going to be assaulted and screamed at on the subway.
You're right, Rob. Thanks for having me. You're absolutely right. You know, what happened 2 years ago was the defund the police movement that has continued on, and we're seeing the effects of it today. People are getting fed up. And when you defund the police, people will take actions into their own hands. And you have an individual who chose to intervene against another individual who, obviously, it's a very sad case. But context here is very important. And I'm glad you pointed out the fact that we have politicians who are just spouting off at the mouth. Governor Hochul, who said Jordan Neely was killed for just being a passenger on a subway train. That's not the case. And like you mentioned earlier, AOC said the same thing, calling the individual a murderer. You know, and Mayor Adams, I have, criticized him quite a bit, but to his credit, he has come out and said, we have to wait for the facts. And as a police chief, that's what I just implore people to do. Wait for the facts to come out and let a grand jury decide.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick answer from both of you guys. Curtis, first, do you think charges at all come for this ex-Marine?
Nah, they'll put it before a grand jury. They'll exonerate him. But Black Lives Matter has become big, large mansions. They're not going to be taken to the
big,
streets.
Large mansions. Laurent, your opinion. Oh, did we lose Laurent? Okay, well, we lost her. Okay, well, thank you, Laurent. Curtis, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good to see you. All right, coming up here after the break, how quickly